Over the last few years, we have sold over thousands of life insurance policies. And today,
Mm.
we're going to show you guys how to nail the first 30 seconds of an insurance phone call or insurance door knocking. My name is Mike.
My name's Jalen.
Let's hop into it, guys. Now, Jalen, you know me. Like before we even get to the door knock, or before we even pick up the phone to call Miss Betty, there's a delusional amount of confidence you had to have as an agent. Like, hey, before I even call this person, it's an automatic close.
Yeah, that's key.
Before I even like get to this door to knock this person's door, I am going to close this client no matter what, because what I have is valuable to them.
Exactly. And that's kind of how you have to look at it, right? The reason why you have so much confidence is because you know what you're offering is a valuable asset to your client. Right now, here's the thing. If you're in the field, right, you do have to make sure you do some housekeeping notes on yourself, right? Like, don't pull up to your client's house in a dirty car. Don't pull up and you don't have a fresh fade, a fresh cut, because and wrinkled clothes on, guys. Like, because your client is literally judging you the minute you get out the car, right? Like, I want you guys to think about something. Somebody pull up to your house and you don't know them, you never recognize the car. You peep out the window, right? Only enough so you can see them, but they can't really see you, right? Your clients are doing the same thing. And based off how you approach their house, they're going to determine if they even want to answer the door or not.
Absolutely.
So make sure you have a clean fade, fresh cut, no wrinkles on your clothes, and make sure you're showing up, because how you show up is how you're going to build, how much confidence you're going to be able to build within yourself.
I love that.
So when you show up to the client's house, you're already ready to go. Now, for a phone agent, guys, you have to make sure you're in the right mental state as well. Like, when I call a client, I already know that when they answer the phone or before they even answer the phone, I'm already saying, God, give me the words to say in this very hour, because I'm already expecting, right? Expecting them to answer. And when they answer the phone, I'm already ready to close them. I'm already have that mentality.
You can't just breathe through what you just said there. So you're saying, you're telling yourself, God, give me the words this very hour to present.
Exactly.
Wow, that's a bar. You guys should write that one down. So now, Jalen, so why is it so important now to nail the first 30 seconds?
Yeah, the first 30 seconds is very important. I'll even break it down to the first 5 to 7 seconds, right? The first word that comes out your mouth, people are already judging you. So you have to make sure you are tailoring your words properly for the clientele that you're presenting to. Right? So the first 5 to 7 seconds on the phone or even in the field is very important, because your client is literally seeing if they can trust you based off the words that's coming out of your mouth.
So sharp as a tack.
You want to be very sharp. That's why it's important to know your script. It's very important to know your presentation, because when you show up to the door or you're showing up on the phone, if you don't know that stuff, you're going to be stumbling over your words, and the client immediately loses trust within the first 5 to 7 seconds.
I love that. So here are some practical steps to take to nail this first 30 seconds of an insurance door knock or an insurance phone call. So number one, we're going to assume who the person is. Now, guys, we're going to give you guys practical steps about how to assume the person by buying leads. We're buying leads, so these are kind of more like a lead tailored call or a door knock. So when we knock the person's door, when we call the person, we're going to assume it's Miss Betty, all right? Like, we're not going to call the person and say, hello, is Mrs. Betty available? No. So when we door knock, I'm going to say, hey, Miss Betty. So I'm going to the door, all right? I'm going to the door, and I see a lady that fits the description of the lead.
Right.
I'm going to say, hey, Miss Betty.
That's good. That's good. Now, if a 6'5" man answers the door, right? Don't say, hey, Miss Betty. Well, in today's age, you probably could, you know what I mean? But you really don't want to say that, right? You want to make sure if the lead fits the description of the person, come in and say, hey, Miss Betty, how you doing, right? And you get straight into it. Hey, Mr. John, what's going on? Allow for the client to tell you, hey, I'm not Mrs. Betty. I'm not Mr. John. Let me go get Mr. John and let me go get Miss Betty.
I love that. So number two, Jalen. Now, We're going to now tell the client who we are, okay? Tell them who we are. So for me, I use my first name. So I say, hey, Miss Betty, my name is Michael. So if I'm doing face-to-face sales, I'm waving, hey, Miss Betty, my name is Mike. I point to myself because people learn through what they hear and what they see.
That's good.
So I'm saying, hey, my name is Michael. I'm with Senior Benefits here in Ohio. So I'm telling them who I am and what I pretty much do. I help seniors with their benefits here in Ohio. So now I'm giving them an authoritative figure.
That's good.
I'm an authoritative figure. So you need to listen to me for the next 10 more seconds.
That's good.
Over the phone is the same thing, Jalen?
Same thing. Yeah, you want to get straight into who you are and verifying the client information, right? So if I call a client, right, after I speak to him, right, hey, Miss Betty, how you doing today? Oh, I'm doing good, baby. How you doing? Listen, I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for asking, right? Coming off as a friend first, because people got clients, people calling them all day long and they're trying to hit them with the same approach. No, I want to come off as a friend first on the phone, right? Now, Ms. Betty, you're probably wondering why I'm giving you a call, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Now real quick, John, I love that. I love that. So you're saying, you're asking them, hey, how you're doing today. So for me, the playful tonality has to play into effect now.
Correct.
Like Jalen said, they probably have been asked how they're doing today many, many times. A lot of agents will say, hey, I'm doing good. So when the client answers, they're probably going to say, hey, how are you doing as well? Agents say, hey, I'm doing good. It does not disarm the client anyway. It doesn't let you get that leg up on the client to get, man, that person's a pretty cool person. So I love saying, hey, Miss Betty, I'm doing absolutely amazing. It's pretty cold here in Ohio. My feet are getting a little cold here, but is it warm where you're at? Like something
to lighten the conversation.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's important for you to do that because you always want to approach your client as a friend because, you know, clients don't buy the product. They buy the agent.
Exactly.
And the more you can sell yourself, your personality, that client will want to continue to keep doing business with you because they can see who you are genuinely who you are who you are. So you got to make sure that you're authentic, you're showing personality so your client can pick up on that and want to invite you into their home or keep them on the phone because nobody wants to talk to somebody who's boring. Right. So it's very, very important for you to become a friend first.
So now we have assumed the person. We told the person who we are. Now we're going to our next set of lines. Okay, this is still in the first 30 seconds. All right, first 30 seconds. So number 3 here is going to be, hey, Miss Betty, you requested information about final expense coverage. You requested information about mortgage protection. You requested information about index universal, whatever you're selling.
Right.
So you're telling the person, I'm just getting back to you because you requested something about blank, blank, blank.
Correct.
Right? And if you're doing over the phone sales, you're going to probably say, just getting back to you about your request about final expense coverage. We have your date of birth as this, your favorite hobby as this.
Right. So phone sales, Mike don't do too much phone sales. God bless this man here. Right. You guys probably was not sold on that at all. It's all right. But it's just getting back to you about the final expense plans. Now, Ms. Betty, correct me if I'm wrong, but I see her out there in Massachusetts. Is that right?
Yeah,
that's right. Okay, how the weather out there? Oh, it's going good. Okay, cool. Well, it's snowing out here. I'm trying to keep warm, right? Now, just to verify, Ms. Betty, I see also you listed here your date of birth as 1/1/65, and you put here your favorite hobby is swimming. I need to get in there. I need to get in that swim pool with you because I need to get some laps and I'm out of breath, right? She'd be like, yeah, that's me. Okay, perfect. Did I read any of that information wrong? I don't ask if that's correct. No, did I read any of that wrong? I want the client to tell me, no, that's all correct. It's all psychology.
That's good.
So it's very important for you to ask specific questions. Did I read any of that wrong? So your client can come back to you and say, nah, baby, you didn't read any of that wrong. So now that trust is still being held high because you're asking the correct questions.
And if you're doing face-to-face sales, just show the lead. You know, people just don't even show the lead, Jalen. Like just show the person what they filled out. And then that's pretty much it. So instead of you doing over the phone, you got to tell the person what they filled out.
Correct.
You got to show them the information they put down. For face-to-face sales, just show the lead.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all validation you have to do there.
The lead and your credentials.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And your state credentials,
Exactly.
right? And then on the phone, what you want to do too is you want to send over your badge to them.
Yeah.
Right? Your badge with a picture of you, all your information so they can see you as well.
And that's happening after you validate the person on the lead. You tell some information about them. So then the last step, I call the call to action. The call to action. So if you're doing face-to-face sales, that's how the whole entire thing sounds like from start to finish. And Jalen will say his pitch for over-the-phone sales from start to finish. So for face-to-face sales, it's like this. Hey, Miss Betty, my name is Michael. I'm with Senior Benefits here in Ohio. Show the lead. You requested information about final expense coverage. I am just stopping by to see what you qualify for. So show the lead. Where can we sit? That's the call to action. Where can we sit? When I say sit, I'm wiping my feet off. I'm leaning inside. I'm assuming we're about to sit down at your dining room table and get this done. Hour later, done deal. We're selling at the house.
That's really good.
So Jen, what's the first
really
whole entire thing look like for you for over the phone?
That's really good. Yeah. So you approach the client, right? You got to pick up your phone, right? You need one of those things.
Yeah.
You type their number in. They ring. They answer. Hello. Hey, Miss Betty. How you been? I'm doing good. Who's this? Hey, Miss Betty. My name is Jalen. Just getting back to you about the form you filled out about final expense plans. I'm an underwriter for the state of Louisiana. Now, I see here you're out there in New Orleans. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. Okay, excellent. Now, if you don't mind me asking, ma'am, I have here listed your date of birth as 1/1/65, and your favorite hobby is golfing. Did I read any of that wrong at all? No, baby, you didn't read any of that wrong. Okay, excellent. Now, they do require me to send over my credentials to you. Is this a phone that you can receive text on so I can send you my badge?
Boom.
They'll say yes, you send over the badge. I promise you, if you do not send over your credentials, at the end, I don't care how sweet you are on the phone, they're not going to want to purchase. So send over your credentials and you get straight into your discovery.
Boom. Love it, guys. So this is how you know the first 30 seconds of an insurance phone call or insurance door knock. Jalen, any last tips, comments before we end this?
No, I just want to say, guys, make sure you're absolutely confident in what you're doing. Know that your product that you're offering has value, but most importantly, understand that you as a person have value.
Beautiful.
The people who want to work with you will work with you. You just have to show up as yourself, be yourself, follow the script that you were given. And I promise you, if you can do that, you will be able to close as many deals as you want on a week-to-week basis. So take this information, apply it to your business immediately, and when you do so, see you at the top.